Good morning. Welcome to Presto, You Got It, where we have short, quick, and interesting talks, but absolutely no boring lectures. So, let's go. Today, we're going to talk about AP statistics. This is part of a basic but important statistics. Question 1. Which of the following is an example of categorical data? A. Percent of ozone loss. B. AKC dog breed. C. Class size. D. Amount of money spent on advertising during the Super Bowl. E. GDP percentage. The correct answer is B. AKC dog breed is a categorical designation used to specify group characteristics and, unlike quantitative data, cannot be used in meaningful computation. So meaningful here is very important. You can do computation as long as you have numbers, but if those numbers cannot be used to do any computation meaningfully, then those numbers are not what you can use to compute something useful. So let's walk through the other options. A. Percent of ozone loss. This is not a category. It's just numerical number, and you can definitely use it to do meaningful computation. So A is not the correct answer. C. Class size. 50 people, 60 students, that's class size. That's not a category, and you can use those numbers to do meaningful computation. D. Amount of money spent on advertising. $1 million, $2 million, $2.5 million. That's the number you can use to do meaningful computations. So you can find out how much you spent on advertising. E. GDP percentage. So for example, in the US, 24% of GDP, that's a percentage, and it is actually a very important percentage because this is how much the federal government spent. So what it means is that usually almost a quarter of the GDP is directed by the federal government. So how much the federal government spend, how they spend it, is actually very important because it's a very large percentage, almost a quarter of GDP, 24%. So again, this is not a category, it's some number you can use to do meaningful computation. So correct answer is dog breed. Question 2. Which of the following is an example of quantitative data? A. Radiation levels in milligrams of food in Japan. B. Fashionable colors by season of the year. C. Gender. D. High school grade levels. Freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. E. Favorite sport. The correct answer is A. Radiation levels, they are measured in millirams or rams. So for example, there are a few numbers you may want to remember. The numbers are 100, 400, and 1,000. That's in rams. Or 100,000, 400,000, or 1 million. That's in millirams. What these numbers mean is at 100 rams or 100,000 millirams, it becomes dangerous. And at 400, 1,000 rams or 400,000 and 1 million rams, it becomes very dangerous. So these are quantitative measurement you can use to do a lot of things, and meaningful things. They are not categories. So answer is A. Now let's walk through the other options. B. Fashionable colors by season of the year. So for example, summer it's blue, spring it's green. So this may be some people's choice for their fashion. So these are not numbers, they are categories. But one may say, okay, if I use 1 to represent a code, green, 2 to represent a code, blue, what can you say in that kind of situation? What we can say here is it's still category, still level, even though you are using numbers to code these colors. But you cannot use the numbers to do meaningful computation. For example, what does 1 plus 2 means here? You cannot add green to blue. It's not very meaningful. You can do computation, but it's not meaningful. So meaningful computation, that's a very important concept. C, gender. Of course, this is category, not number. And D, high school grade level, freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. These are category, but you may say, okay, I can use 1 to represent or code freshman, 2 to represent or code sophomore, 3 for junior, and 4 for senior. What can you say about that? Well, it's still a category. It's not numerical measurement with which you can do meaningful computation. For example, you cannot say, okay, 1 plus 2, 2 divided by 4. But if one say, okay, I want to find out how many years these students spent in the high school, then in that kind of situation you can do meaningful computation. But you already changed what the question you want to ask here. So again, for choice D, it's still category, freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, not numerical measurement. D, favorite sport, football, baseball, basketball. These are categories, not numerical measurement. Okay, that's all we have today. Thank you, and like and subscribe.